Thanks for tuning in. My name is Owen Wanebu, aka Coach Oweniko, host of Transforming Relationship with Emotional Intelligence and founder of Oweniko Consult. I'm honored to be your host today, and thanks for joining us. I believe we can transform our relationships to live a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling lives. That is why we have created the resources to help you to improve your relationships. If you are not yet a member, you have not yet subscribed to the platform where we have collated these resources for you, I will encourage you to do so today. And you can sign up at owenico.club. There we have built wealth of resources to support you in the journey of transforming your relationships. Whether you are a professional, you want to build your career, develop your skills and personal qualities for your success in your career, we have the resources for you. Whether you are a parent, you want to empower your children for a greater future and enjoy parenting, the resources are there for you. Whether you are into marriage already and you want to build a happier and successful marriage, we have the resources for you. Whether you are single and you are planning to get married soon or at some point you want to get it right and you need the right preparation, we have the materials for you. And also if you just want to develop yourself as an individual, you want to build some improve in this area of personal development, we also have the resources for you. So take advantage of that. Go today, subscribe to at owenico.club, where you will have the rich community to support you and the materials and resources to grow yourself and transform your relationships so that you can enjoy life, live a happier life, healthier life, and more fulfilling life. So I want to say thank you again for tuning in and being part of this great community. Today I want to talk a bit about the value of relationships. That's the topic I want to discuss today. The value of relationships. How valuable are relationships? What value do you give to relationships? And that's really important to see how we value relationships. Is the awareness there that relationships are very important. Our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, our happiness, our fulfillment in life, and our general well-being are all connected to the quality of our personal relationships. That's really what we have come to know by experience, observation, and various studies. So relationships are so important. And when we talk about relationships, what do we really mean? We are looking at various kinds of relationship. We are talking about relationship with yourself. How happy are you as an individual? We are looking at what we call self-concept. What's your belief about yourself, your honest belief about yourself, your ability to accomplish given tasks, your self-esteem. Okay, so how do you perceive? What's your self-concept of yourself? So that's what we talk about when we talk about relationship with yourself. We also look at relationship with God, with a supreme being. A lot of us know that deep down inside every one of us, there's that longing to have a relationship with a supreme being. So how about you? So how is your relationship? Have you built that level of relationship? So that's another form of relationship. We also have relationship with our families, with our parents, siblings. How is that relationship? The interesting thing about relationships is that we all can relate with it. Whether you're an adult, whether you are a youth, whether you are a child growing up, we all experience relationship in various forms. So really, it's something any one of us can relate with and share maybe their experience of it. So while discussing this topic today, I want you to reflect. at what level of life you are, what experiences of relationships have you had. If you're a child growing up, what's relationship with your parents like? If you're an adult, what was it like when you were growing up? Now that you're an adult, maybe the stages of life you have gone through, what type of relationships have you had? And what's the impact of those relationships? Really, when we talk about these things, we want everyone to reflect, really, because one of the things we want to achieve by doing this is creating awareness, and it starts from reflecting, retrospecting, and also seeing how these things influence or impact us. And it will be nice to hear some stories of how we have managed relationships, or how our relationships have influenced us positively or negatively. Some of these categories I'm mentioning here, or various relationships I'm mentioning here, I'll be glad to host someone here who shares how the relationships they have had in life have impacted them positively or negatively, so that we can help others to learn from it. Right? Sharing our experience matters, so that people can, listen and benefit from it. That's what we want to accomplish. We want more people to live happier. We want more people to live healthier. We want more people to live more fulfilled lives. Okay, so when they hear of our experience, whether positive or negative, it will help them to maybe challenge themselves to see how they can improve or transform their relationships. So once again, going back to those various kinds of relationship I was mentioning, say we need, we have relationship with God also. Okay, there's equal relationship with our immediate family, your siblings, your parents. What about the relationship with your relatives, extended family? And we talk about relationships also with our friends. Maybe people you went to school with, you met somewhere. This could be a form of relationship. We also talk about relationship with society. Okay, how do you relate in the society where you associate with? Where it could be where you live, go to work. Could be you are involved in one community activity or the other. How do you relate with them? What about your relationship with your colleagues at work? The people you spend the most part of your day, if you are in a paid employment, where you going? Even if you are in business also, you have a relationship with people you do business with, people who work with you or work for you. Okay, you have such relationships. What about your relationship with nature, God's creation? Do you appreciate those things? And also could be relationship with your environment, the things you own, your home, your car, your belongings. Do you enjoy them? These are various forms of relationship that we can associate with. But the question here is, how have you managed these relationships over the years? Did you attach any importance to them at all? Did you make any effort to make sure that these relationships functioned well? And if you did, how did that come out? Well, did it come out well? Did you value the effort put in building those relationships? Okay, so I'll be glad to hear our experiences in this area of relationships. So relationships are very important, and they are so important that we have to give them the necessary attention. But sadly, that's not spoken of, unlike other things that we have been told that could maybe improve lives. So talking about relationship is very, very important. Understanding the importance of relationship is very key to our happiness, fulfillment in life. Now, when it comes to talking about relationship, there's what I call the ultimate question, and that is really going to ask what do you really want in life? Because if we are talking about relationship, we want to see how does that relate with what we want, or how does that relate with our goal? What impact does it have in our lives? Okay, so and if we are to know the future, and we are to invest in order to have maybe best life, well, where you have all the time to do the things you need to do, you have all the energy and resources. Where will you put them? If you had all those and you knew how the future will turn out to be, if you invested all those resources in something that is valuable to you, where will you put those resources? Okay. And really, when we are confronted with such question, and a lot of us will opt for maybe we can, maybe our goal in life might just be to get as rich as we can, and then maybe become famous, or maybe attain a level of professional excellence, or achieve certain heights in our business. All those are lofty goals, very important goals. But what we have come to see is that if we don't give attention to building good relationships, and then focus only on some of these well-known goals, like getting rich, becoming famous, or becoming professionally accomplished, if we do those things, achieve those goals at the expense of building good relationship, we see that people end up being maybe lonely, depressed, unhappy, and unfulfilled in life. And I want you to just maybe take a bit of time to reflect, look around. What about, what's your own experience? Maybe some of you, depending on your life experience, where you are in life, you may be able to relate with some of this. And that's the beauty of talking about this, which any one of us can really talk about it, or remember, or reflect on how this has impacted them, or how this works for them. Okay, so how has this worked for you? Have you built maybe wealth, professional excellence, accomplishment, or fame at the expense of maybe maintaining or building good relationships in addition? Okay, and what does that look like? What is life like? Okay, or have you observed people who maybe sacrifice good relationship for these other goals, and what is their life like today? Really, these things are things we can really observe around us. So really, if we want to live a happy and healthy life, fulfilling life, we have to invest in relationships. Sadly, these things are not shared. A lot of people do not have this information. And those who have it equally, I'm not sure how we have used it. It's difficult. It's rare to see people saying maybe one of their top goals is to build great relationship, or even good relationships. Okay, it's not something that any of us put any form of effort to achieve. Okay, and the good thing there is that these skills, to build and transform relationships, can be learned. Right? We can teach it. You can learn it. And that is really what we do to help people, build these relationships, to build these skills, to build and maintain good relationships, which in turn helps you live happier, healthier, and more fulfilled life. If that's what you want, then investing in relationships is a priority. You must give it great attention, and it must be done intentionally. Okay, so happiness, a lot of us know, is one of the keys to life. Okay, a lot of times when you ask people, what do you really want in life, particularly parents, what do you want for your child? Say, I want him or her to be happy. We ask people, what do you really want in life? They say, I want to be happy. All right, so maybe I want to make more money to be happy. I want to maybe be famous to be happy. I want to achieve the things I want to achieve in my profession to be happy. I want to grow my business and as much as I want to be happy. All of those things. A lot of things we do in life is geared towards achieving certain things to be happy. So a lot of us want to be happy. But then how do we achieve happiness? Have we really studied or looked into how to create happiness in our lives? Okay, I believe it was John Lennon who said, when I was 5 years old, he says, my mother always told me that happiness was the key to life. When I went to school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote down happy. They told me I didn't understand the assignment, and I told them they didn't understand life. And I believe for many of us, it's the same. Really, many of us want to be happy, which is good. Okay, but we need to know what to do to be happy. We've seen a lot of people who focused on other things that they thought would, earn them happiness. Fame, money, maybe their profession, all of those things, like I said earlier, they are, great goals, laudable goals, but they shouldn't be pursued at the expense of building good relationships. Okay, so and this is not just because this is a good idea, not necessarily. These are things that a lot of us have experienced in life, we have observed in life, and also, interestingly, studies. One of the longest, study still going on is has confirmed things like this too. So we're not just talking about things that we think is what it should be, but these are confirmed by experience, confirmed by observation, confirmed by study. Okay, so we're talking about here the most important factor in human happiness. We're looking at what influences our happiness the most. Okay, and interestingly, the Harvard study that has been running since 1938 and still ongoing up to now, what we call the Harvard study of adult development. Okay, so this year of 2022, that should be the 84th year. That study is still ongoing, and they have come up with a clearest message. That's a message. What this? How many years? 84 years of study. 75 years some years ago, but now in their 84th year. One clear message this long study has come out with is that good relationships keep us happier and healthier. Right? Not the amount of money we have, not maybe our level of achievement in our profession. And I'm not saying those things are not good, but if your goal is to live happier and healthier, you must invest in relationships. That's the point. And it's not like you cannot have all of these. They are not mutually exclusive. So really, you can have all of it. You can have money, you can have fame, you can have professional accomplishment, you can have business accomplishment, but also you must invest time. You must be intentional in building good relationships. If not, maybe most likely, happiness and health may elude one if you sacrifice, the sacrifice building good relationship at the expense of building these other things that you believe or we know that can create happiness, or we have been told that we create happiness. So these are the type of things we want to look at. How do you also, in addition to doing these things we know, build great relationships, transform the relationships you have already? Because we all have the various forms of relationship, as I mentioned earlier on. Okay, relationship that already existing. Did we really put any effort to make them work? Because if we knew that relationships were this important, maybe we would have made more effort to build and maybe maintain good ones with maybe our siblings, our parents, our friends. Okay, maintain good relationship with the society where we live. So really, relationship with family, with friends, and with community are so important, and everyone should make every effort to maintain it and build a great good ones. So this study that's been on for since 1938 by Harvard correlates with our experiences. Some of us who have been interested in this area of study, we can really agree with the finding of this study. And it's not, we didn't maybe, we wouldn't, we didn't need this long study to confirm this, because some of us have observed it. But seeing a study like this helps us to then be bolder about communicating these facts, so that other people can hear it also, and maybe see how they can work and improve in that area. So it's what building, investing in relationships is what putting time to build and build good relationships. Becoming famous is good, becoming rich is good, but if you don't build good relationships, you cannot guarantee happiness and health. That's what we have seen over the years. And as much as that is as simple as that to understand, why don't we talk about it? Why don't many people know that? Why don't we invest in that? So what we have found is that really building good relationship requires some conscious effort. You need to put effort in making that happen, and then maybe that's why people don't really give it that much attention. So it requires, conscious effort. You have to be deliberate about that. And this starts with, first of all, awareness, like creating this message that I'm spreading here, and other ways of hearing something like this. Maybe I've read something like this somewhere, watched a video somewhere, so that confirms how important relationships are in our lives. So you need to build and improve on the skills required to build and maintain, good relationships. It doesn't just happen. Some of us, we are not trained in those skills as we are growing up or going to school. So now that maybe we are at where we are in life, we may need to go back to acquire such skills. And that's what we do. But the good thing is that those skills are learnable. They're not, you need to put effort to learn them, but it's something that can be learned. That's really good to know, that skills required to build and maintain good relationships can be learned. And we help individuals and organizations in doing that. And like I mentioned earlier, we have created resources to help people, well, with the community that can help support them, and also tools and resources to help them. Okay, so if you are not yet a member of that group, I will highly encourage you to go and subscribe at oweniko.club, so that you can begin your journey in this area to improve in your relationships, begin to transform your relationships. So the action point after listening to something like this is to maybe consider the relationships in your life. Now that awareness has come, now that you have had something like this, what are the relationships in your life like? Starting with yourself. Are you happy with yourself? Are you happy with the things? Are you happy with life? Okay, so that's maybe one of the things you need to consider. If not, then that's the first place to start. How can you improve on that? How can you make yourself maybe happier? How can you maybe appreciate yourself the more, or value yourself more? Okay, so we need you to take action. And part of the action is what I'm telling you now. Yeah, ask yourself, think about it, reflect on it. How happy are you? How appreciative are you of yourself? How do you value yourself? These are questions that you should answer. Okay. Also, what's your relationship with God like? Okay. What's your family? Your relationship with your family, your siblings, your parents? What about friends and community? Yeah. Which one of these areas do you think you want to start improving? Okay. So these are things that I believe that anyone listening to me should be able to do. So after that consideration, then you need to take action. You can start with simple steps, right? Like appreciating yourself the more. Yeah, maybe if it's a relationship with God you want to improve, can go to church. That's a good place to start. Even if you haven't been for a while. All right. And if it's something to do with maybe it's family, Your siblings, yeah, what about giving them a call? Yeah, if there's anyone that maybe you have not spoken with for a long time, this is a point. A call may begin the journey. Okay, what about your parents, family members? Right? Are there any of them that maybe because you didn't know better in terms of the value of relationships, you left it to maybe how they wanted it? Now that knowledge has come, you can do something about it. It's not too late, really. Okay, so are there friends you can reach out to, even those that offended you? You can forgive them and still reach out to them. Yeah, look out for maybe community involvement where you can help and serve in the community. That's another way of starting something in this direction. Okay, are there things you can contribute? That's the way you can contribute or bring value into the community. Right. So these are various areas of relationships that we can improve, in, and that starts from maybe taking action, making conscious effort, and if you understand the importance of relationships, then you can begin to appreciate that no amount of investment in building relationships and maintaining good relationship is too much, right? Any investment made in that regard, is well worth it. And I want to encourage you to give attention to building great relationship, building good relationship, if you want to live a happier life, healthier life, because good relationships help maintain maybe your mind, your brain. Okay, it helps you live a healthier life, a happier life, more fulfilling life. So, great relationships are the things we need for a great life. From that same study I mentioned earlier from Harvard, we have come to know that the good life is built with good relationships. So let's invest in relationships, and it's never too late. So thank you for listening, and I want you to take action. Like I mentioned, I would like to hear our stories, our experiences in this area, because it's an area that any one of us can relate with, whether positive or negative. What we want is to help as many people as we can. We want to save marriages. We want to help singles get into relationships and make it right. We want professionals to enjoy the profession they have trained in. We want parents to enjoy parenting. I will teach them how to, help their children learn things and then also enjoy family life. Okay, so the skills of emotional intelligence can help you in various ways, and this is why we are bringing it to you. So feel free to make contact if you need support in any particular area. We are here to support you to transform your relationships and live a happier, right? Hope you will join me in our subsequent episodes. Thank you for listening, and please do take action.